Welcome back, everybody, to the Teen Titans retrospective. This episode we meet Terra, who might be the best character in the whole show. Let's talk about it. This is Season 2, Episode 3, Terra, written by Amy Wolfram and directed by Ciro Nieli. This episode introduces a new character, Terra, who will be a major player in the season-long arc, I guess the Terra arc. This is one of the most fondly remembered storylines in the whole show, and for good reason, as it's one of, if not the strongest arc of the whole series, which makes sense as it is loosely based on the Judas contract, this storyline here, which is one of the most famous Teen Titans stories, especially from the new Teen Titans run. This arc was groundbreaking for a lot of different reasons and introduced a lot of major Teen Titans things that became kind of bigger staples of the series. First of all, it's the big Terra storyline, so that's fairly significant. It's also a much darker storyline than a lot of the other types of stories that they would tell in this series. And we also get a lot of major big status quo and lore things in this arc. We get the first appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing. In this storyline, we also get Slade's backstory, and we introduce new major characters like this guy Jericho. I'm trying a new set, and that's the third time I've dropped something so far, so it's going well. But this guy Jericho, who is actually Slade's son, he becomes a major character in this series, also first introduced in this storyline. And of course we get this whole arc with Terra, which actually I think is done much better in the Teen Titans show than it was originally in the comic. The comic is still good and was pushing the boundaries and trying darker and more compelling stories and all those things. Again, significant for introducing a lot of major Teen Titans things. But the character of Terra and her main arc is just far more compelling in the show than in the comic. So again, this is a good one. Let's get into it. Start off right away, we're introduced to Terra. She's running fast as she can. There's this giant scorpion that is just not explained. It's chasing her. The Titans show up to try to help her, but turns out she was actually luring the scorpion into this corner so that she could smash it with all these rocks, because Terra is she's an earthbender, basically. She can control rocks. That's her power. Even this little intro is really clever now that I'm thinking about it. We're introduced to this character and we think we understand what's happening in the situation, but actually no. She wasn't the prey in this interaction, she's the predator. Just little subtle clever stuff. Right away we're already setting up that there's more to Terra than first meets the eye. Terra is played by Ashley Johnson, who is wonderful.
What? Haven't you guys ever seen a superhero before?
And you probably know her from The Last of Us, not That Last of Us, this obscure video game that the show is based on, where she plays Ellie. She's also in a ton of other stuff. Terra meets the Titans properly, and right away they're pretty much all enamored by her. They think she's super cool. She laughs at Beast Boy's jokes, which is the highest of compliments to Beast Boy, so immediately he's super into her and wants to get to know her more and stuff. And this is also fun because Ashley Johnson and Craig Sipes would also play love interests in Ben 10 Alien Fight the Aliens, where Craig Sipes plays Kevin 11 and Ashley Johnson plays Gwen. So they get to be together in that show, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I watch a lot of cartoons. Through talking to Terra, they realize that she's essentially homeless and that she's sort of just been traveling around, going where the wind takes her, so to speak. They're like, well, hey, why don't you crash at our place and hang out with us for a bit since you're in town? And she's into that. They hang out. She quickly eats all their food and washes her clothes and takes a bath and stuff. Kind of taking advantage of their hospitality, but also they offered it and they're more than happy to give her a place to stay. But we soon learn that Terra sort of has this insecurity that she might not be truly welcomed into their group. And she sort of wanders off and has this nice scene with Beast Boy where she's skipping rocks on the water outside the tower with her powers, and then Beast Boy shows up and just chucks a rock in the water, and it's great. I love it. As a kid, I sort of thought of this story as kind of related closely to Beast Boy, and he is very important in the storyline because most of the Titans like seasons have focused on like one of the major characters. The first season focused on Robin, but this season is actually focused on Terra. She's the main character of this storyline, which I really like. And Beast Boy does get his own season later on in the series. For some reason, Starfire never got a full season arc, which is too bad because she's great. Anyway, so Terra and Beast Boy are talking. He's like, hey, maybe you could join the team. You seem to have cool powers and are a teenager, so those are all the requirements. We soon learn that Terra is very hesitant because she doesn't have full control over her abilities. She's young, she's still learning how to use them. If she gets like too emotional or whatever, she can like start to lose control. Beast Boy's like, hey, whatever, it's not a big deal, but to her, it is. And she makes him promise not to tell anyone. The next day, the Titans like invite Terra to train with them. They have sort of this obstacle course, danger room type situation set up. Cyborg runs through the course briefly to sort of show what the idea of it is, and he says, booyah, another booyah, put that on the counter. Then Terra gets a chance to run through this like obstacle course. This is gonna fall, so I'm just gonna take that down for now. We see that Terra is obviously very powerful, but is kind of clumsily stumbling through this course. She manages to clear it and like kind of sell it like, hey, it was all planned all along, but it's like very evident that she's like sort of flying by the seat of her pants and like barely having enough control to accomplish what she needs to. But the Titans are still very impressed and like are into her being involved in their team. Then the Titans get an alert that Slade is back. That's right, we got Slade in this episode also. He's like attacking people at this mine. So the Titans roll out and bring Terra along. There's some fighting with the different Slade bots and stuff. Terra is also there. Terra ends up getting separated from the rest of the group, and she spots Slade seemingly trying to get away. So she follows him. But of course, we know Slade, and Slade is always like 10 steps ahead of everyone. He planned this specifically to lead Terra away from the group and separate her so that he could get her alone. And I'm just noticing while editing this that Slade pulls the exact move on Terra that she pulls on this giant scorpion at the beginning of the episode, where Terra thinks that she's pursuing Slade, but really he's luring her into a trap. Good theming. They have a bit of a fight, but the scene is actually mostly dialogue between Slade and Terra, and basically Slade is just preying on all of her insecurities. He's been like following her for a while and talks about how wherever she goes, there's like landslides and earthquakes and stuff. Whenever she gets close to someone, they get hurt or get put in danger. He's like, are you sure you can really trust anyone? Once the Titans figure out that you are not in control of your powers, they're gonna reject you. She's like, no, Beast Boy promised he wouldn't tell anyone. Slade is like, come on, you can't trust anyone to actually keep their promises and all this kind of stuff. And then he gets like more and more creepy as he's like sort of trying to convince her that he's the only one that can actually help her out. He's saying like, I can help you control your powers and stuff, and I'm like the only one that's able to do that. He puts this like butterfly hair clip in her hair, and it's like super creepy. Major red flags should be going off, but like Terra's vulnerable and a teenager and stuff, and this guy specifically like targeting all of her exact insecurities, but then also like claiming to be on her side. He's manipulating her. It's creepy. Terra starts to sort of lose control of her abilities, and they're already in this like mine shaft thing, so the rocks and stuff is going all over the place. It's bad news bears for everyone. Beast Boy's able to catch up to her, and he is able to reach out to her and hold her hands and sort of like say, hey, no, it's okay, like I got you, you're gonna be okay. It's very similar to like in Avatar, whenever like Aang loses control and goes into the Avatar state, and Katara just sort of like very warmly and calmly like holds his hand and holds him close and is like, I understand and I'm here and I've got you. It's a really nice moment. I like it. Works in Avatar, it works here too. I like it a lot. And that's sort of the big end of this sequence. Back at the Titans Tower, Terra is like getting ready to say goodbye. She's like, it's been fun, but I should probably be on my way. And they're like, not so fast. Hey, we want you to join the team. We think you're super cool. We want you to stay here with us. And Robin says like, I know you don't have full control of your powers yet, but like with some more training and stuff, I think you could be a really valuable member of our team. And Terra like freaks out and she's like, "You said you wouldn't tell them," and then like runs away. And Beast Boy tries to go after her, but she's already gone. And it's sad. And then Robin goes like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was supposed to be a secret. I just figured it out." Partly because, Robin's a good detective, but also just because like it's kind of obvious. But again, it was truly something that the other Titans like didn't think was a big deal. But because to Terra it was, and because she made Beast Boy promise not to tell anyone, now not only is her like secret exposed, but she feels that Beast Boy has lied to her and betrayed her trust. And it's, they're teenagers, so it's like super heightened emotions and stuff. And she's gone before there can be any kind of like explanation of how Robin knew about her secret, right? And so it ends on this like kind of really sad note. But not before we get one more scene of Slade sort of watching Terra on some kind of screen. How is he doing this exactly? Unclear. But he says this really creepy line where it's something along the lines of like, "Run all you like, Terra, but every step you take brings you closer to me." Ugh, so creepy. What a great fucking villain. I hate him. I love him. And yeah, that's the plot of this episode. So like we come out of the gate swinging with this one. Terra feels like a fully realized character in just one episode, and she's like super complex too. We don't know much about her, but we vaguely hint at a backstory of her causing earthquakes and stuff wherever she goes, and has had some type of like bad trust issues in the past. It's just enough that we can like kind of piece together her whole deal, and she just feels like a fully fleshed out and realized character in a very short amount of time that we've gotten to know her so far. She's super likable and funny and makes jokes with Beast Boy and is like happy to be involved with the team and stuff, but she also has like all these like deep vulnerabilities and insecurities about herself and about her powers. You can tell she really wants to be friends with the Titans and to be involved with their group and stuff, but just has these like insecurities and trust issues and stuff. And the moment that those emotions are like tested, she freaks out and runs away. I feel like there's like kind of this really interesting motif going on here with like Terra running away. Or at the beginning of the episode, Terra is running away from this scorpion, but then it turns out she's actually wasn't running away from it, but she was running towards an area in which she could trap it. And then in the end of the episode, she's running away from the Titans, but as Slade describes it, she's actually running towards him. Every moment of Terra's life, she's always running both away from danger and towards it. Really interesting thematic stuff here. I love this episode a lot. It's really well done. Great character introduction, and she'll continue to keep growing in complexity as this storyline unfolds later on in the season. Good fucking episode. I think that's gonna do it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Continue tuning in every week. We're week by week, episode by episode. We're breaking down every single episode of the original Teen Titans series. Later on in this season, we'll get to see more of Terra, so that's exciting. And subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see more videos. Give us a like, give us a comment, all of those things. Thank you so much for sticking around, and we'll see you next week with some more Teen Titans. Bye.